You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at LASSO do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
Welcome back to Gym Marketing Made Simple, aka Gym Sales Made Simple, because I'm taking over again. This is episode 2 with your host, me, Jeff Burlingame. And we're going to dive in today to what I like to call the structured conversation, which is essentially operationally what sales is. So if you want to make a sale, if you want to set yourself up for success, whether it's bringing on new members or bringing on personal training clients, if you're going low ticket, high ticket, it doesn't matter. If you want to have any sort of monetary transaction occur, you need to have a structured way of getting there. So in today's episode, we're going to walk through what I think of as point A to point B of the sales process. Every business, period, every business needs to have this. Gym owners especially need to have this because we are the most guilty party of going into sales conversations with really just like hopes and dreams, right? Like we go in and we're like, all right, I know this person's name and I'm assuming they want to improve their fitness levels. I'm going to ask them who they are. I'm going to ask them what they want and I'm going to show them what we can do. And worst case scenario, you're doing a gym tour. So what we want to do is we want to flip all that, right? I want to help you guys create a structured conversation that is designed in such a way that it will create a momentum of agreement. In other words, this person's going to be in their head or out loud sometimes be saying, yes, 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 that makes sense. I agree. Let's move on, right? So I want that person in their head agreeing with everything I say. I want them really not just agreeing, not just a habit of saying, sure, yeah, okay. That's not agreement. I mean, they get it and they're on board. That is what I want. And they're going to say yes along the way. And then when we get to the end where I ask for the money, right, the actual transition to the sale itself, I need that momentum of agreement to carry through to the point where they will say, yeah, let's do it. Let's get started. And you have now brought them to the starting line. Keep in mind, again, it's not the finish line. That's after they achieve all their goals, all their hopes, all their dreams come true. This is just the starting line of their journey with you. And that is what you are doing as a salesperson. It's your job to get them there. So let's break down the structured conversation. I want to give you the framework first, right? Start to finish. When I have somebody come into my gym for a no sweat intro, free intro, assessment, trial, whatever it is that you offer in your business right now, doesn't matter. From start to finish, it looks like this. Number one, I have to build rapport. Now, we'll dive into that in a second. I'm going to give you a decent amount of details on this for a 50-minute podcast episode. So we got to like really hustle through it. But rapport is not just shaking hands. It's not just saying the person's name. It's building a relationship. And I've always thought of sales as sort of a blind date, right? You don't know them. They don't know you. You might have a name, phone number, and an email. You might have a couple of details from a form they filled out, but you really don't know who this person is, or you've never seen them before. So it's sort of a blind date. I have to build that rapport in a very short amount of time. Most of you right now might be spending 15 to 30 minutes max on these appointments. I usually recommend 30 to 45 minutes, and some people spend much longer than that, right? It's just a less efficient process. Another reason why we'd want to have a structured conversation, because structured conversations, they tend to have an average time, right? Like it's going to take me on average 45 minutes to do an intro if I have a structured conversation versus an hour and a half if there is no structure, or 15 minutes if there's no structure and I'm missing a ton of information and losing out on a lot of sales opportunities. 30 to 45 minutes seems to be the sweet spot where I can get enough info from a person, build enough rapport, create momentum of agreement, and get to the point where it's a no-brainer for them to just sign up with me, right? So rapport goes beyond just simple hello, shaking hands, even handing them a bottle of water. Those are all parts of it. But you continue to build rapport throughout the entire process simply by asking questions and practicing active listening, right? So if I get somebody through my sales process, I'm asking questions and they're saying, yeah, I want to lose weight. And I say, great, cool, we can do that. And I move on. That is lacking the opportunity there to build more rapport. Instead, what I should do is say, tell me more about that. Can you explain that to me? Talk to me about what's going on here. They say like, oh, I haven't been down to this weight in 10 years. 10 years. Wow. Okay. Talk to me. What's been going on? What are we struggling with? Right? You are there to listen. Ask a question, leave it open-ended, listen, and then respond in kind and ask more questions. And that is an easy way to build rapport. I always think of this too, if I go to a networking event, there's a few things very important, right? One, the person who asks the most questions builds the most rapport, right? That person is now invested into you because you actually have asked about them and you're listening. So that goes a long way. Always be the person who asks the most questions and you will win networking events. Number one. Number two, the most magical word that is said in any language is a person's name. So the more you say their name, the higher that rapport is going, the stronger rapport you're building throughout this appointment too. So those are all really important things, but rapport is where it all starts, right? Who are you? Let's get to know you and let's be a good active listener. So from 1 to 2, step 2 is you got to get SMART goals. If you guys are asking questions like, what are you hoping we can do for you? And then they're saying, I hope you can help me get stronger. And you say, awesome, we can do that. That is not a SMART goal. We got to dig deeper. So SMART is an acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And I need at least 2, but ideally 3 SMART goals from anybody I talk to in any business I'm working in for anything I want to sell. So if you're a gym owner, you need 3 SMART goals for anybody to join your gym. Dig in deep, ask more questions. You will get 3 SMART goals, but just make sure you get specific with them, right? You want to get stronger. What does that mean to you? When you say stronger, what types of things do you want to be able to do? Are we talking about picking things up that are heavy off the ground? Are we talking about putting things up overhead? What are we talking about, right? Let's dig into that until it becomes a SMART goal. From there, we have to unlock what we call desire, right? And really, this is where we get into 2 key elements to make a sale, right? Other than momentum of agreement and structured conversation, all this stuff is good. Bottom line is nobody will buy from you if they don't want what you sell and they don't want it now. So the 2 things required to make a sale are desire and urgency. So we're talking desire right now. That's the actual want, right? If you want something bad enough, you will find a way to make it affordable to you. This is another reason why I often, you'll hear me say, I don't believe that budgets exist. I think budgets are fake force fields that we put around our bank accounts and use as a defense mechanism in a sales scenario like we're in right now, right? If you're sitting down with somebody at the gym, they might tell you, oh, I got a budget of $99. What made it $99? Why is it $99? Do you know? You probably don't know. Do they know? They probably don't know, right? At the end of the day, we have all had the experience of wanting something bad enough that even if it was out of our quote unquote budget, we found a way to afford it, right? We've all done this since we were kids. There was, a skateboard or a bike for me as a kid, or maybe a video game system, right? So I remember when I first got the PlayStation 2, I was like, I can't afford this. There's absolutely no way I can make this happen. It was extremely expensive at the time. So what do? You find ways to like increase your allowance. You go mow some lawns, like you earn cash, you turn in cans from family parties and stuff, whatever. You find a way to afford it. Now, as adults, that looks a little different, but you might pick up extra shifts. You might cancel other subscriptions. The point is there's a way that they can afford it. They just have to want it bad enough. So desire is unlocking that want. So once we have those goals, you have to ask more questions beyond the SMART goals, like, what will this do for you? How will you feel when this is accomplished? What will you do when this is accomplished? Where will you go when this is accomplished, right? So we're going for the positive future, right? We call it future pacing. And I'm looking for what I like to think of as the joy state. So you achieve this level of accomplishment and now you're happy. That's your joy state. What does that look like? Get a description of that. Goes a long way. You can also go to the negative. You can go to the pain state. And that would be, what happens if we don't do this? How will we feel if we don't accomplish this? What will this prevent us from doing, or where will this prevent us from going in the future, etc.? So dig in deep, spend a little bit of time there, get the desire, and that will help you unlock the emotional drive behind this decision for that person.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoy. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to LASSOframework.com. That's LASSOFRAMEWORK.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.